Hi everyone, I'm going a bit off topic today and doing the British tag because I really like the tag and because I was tagged by the lovely Hannah. She's got a great channel, I will link it below, so go and have a look at her channel as well and her British tag video because it's really funny. So for the British tag, all you need to do is be drinking a cup of tea, and I have got it in my Jamie Oliver Bossy Boots mug because I thought that was appropriately British, and answer 12 questions I think it is. So here we go. How many cups of tea a day do you have and how many sugars? I probably have at least 2 up to 10 cups of tea a day. It depends where I am and what I'm doing, but luckily I don't have any sugar in it because that would be a really bad habit if I did have sugar in my tea, which is a bit of a surprise because I have a very, very sweet tooth. I just don't like the taste of sugar in tea. What is your favourite part of a roast dinner? Controversial, I'm not really a fan of roast dinners. Roast potatoes, not my favourite, I prefer mashed potatoes. I do eat meat, but I'm not a big fan of roast meat. I love roast veg and I love cauliflower cheese, so I suppose those would be my favourite part of a roast dinner. But on the whole, I probably only have a few roast dinners a year because they're just not my favourite. Favourite dunking biscuit? Easy, chocolate covered malted milk. Try it. If you haven't tried it, you have to try it in a cup of tea. It's the best. Favourite quintessentially British pastime? I've got that out in one go. Well, I do love an afternoon tea. Not that I do that all the time because it's an expensive habit to have, but special occasions I do love to go into London to a nice posh hotel and have an afternoon tea because I love tea, I love sandwiches, I love cake, and who doesn't love being waited on in a nice posh hotel? So I do love a lovely afternoon tea. Favourite word? There's probably a few I could go with, but I think I'm going to go with kerfuffle. My sister got me onto saying it. It's from Little Britain, the Andy and Lou sketches that they do, where he always says everything is such a kerfuffle. And you know when you start saying something ironically or using a word ironically, and then it just becomes part of your everyday language. So kerfuffle is definitely my favourite word. Cockney rhyming slang. Well, technically I should be an expert because my nan's side of the family is from the East End and I grew up in Essex, which is just east of East London, but I didn't really know any Cockney rhyme slang apart from the ones that everyone knows like apples and pears until I met my husband. He's not actually from East London, he's from South London, but he uses it in his everyday language, not as a joke, not ironically, he just uses it. So he'll often say things that still confuse me now, like, "Alright trouble, I can't find my dog charger, have you seen it?" Or "I really need to get my whistle dry cleaned." "I fancy a ruby tonight." "I'm absolutely creamed." "This football game is a right load of pony, I'm turning it off." He's not the Artful Dodger. He does talk without Cockney rhyme slang a lot of the time, but he'll slip those words in now and again without meaning to, and they still catch me by surprise. Favourite sweet? I'm more of a chocolate person. But I do like a pick and mix if I go to the cinema, and my favourite, and I don't even know if they're a British sweet, are the foam bananas or the foam shrimps. They taste like perfume, which is a bit weird, and I also love Parma Violet, so obviously that's the kind of sweet that I like. So yeah, they would be my faves. What would your pub be called? And this is the only one I've really had to sort of think about and prepare, because I had no idea. And then I decided to use something that is my nickname and something related to my husband, and he's a big Millwall fan, and they are the Lions. So, and one of my nicknames from growing up with my friends was Rosebud, long story, so I think I would call my pub the Rose and Lion. #1 British person. This is really hard because is it like your favourite famous person, your favourite person from history, your favourite person that you know personally that's British? So I'm just going to go with the first person that comes to my mind that I love and is British, and I think I'll go with Kate Middleton because I like her style, she's about my age so I can relate to her, we're both married to princes. No, only joking. No, I just like Kate Middleton. I love reading about her, I love seeing her in magazines, and I think she comes across really, really well, and is a great role model and a great representation of a British person. Favourite shop or restaurant? So my favourite British shop is definitely Selfridges. Not like I shop in there all the time, but when I do go there I can spend hours in there. In fact, you can make a day out of it and spend the whole day in Selfridges. I'm talking about the one in London because that's the closest one to me, because there's loads of shopping not just high-end now, they've even got a little Primark section in the London Selfridges now. There's also so many makeup counters, and they're always really prepared to make you up, so you can spend probably a few hours just in the makeup beauty area itself. They've also got lovely bars and lovely restaurants, so you could literally spend a whole day in Selfridges and make a complete day out of it. If only I could afford to do that every week, but it is nice to go there for a treat. So I think I'll say Selfridges is my favourite shop. British song pops into your head. I'm going to have to say something by the Beatles. My mother-in-law is a huge fan, and she's definitely got me into the Beatles, and the first Beatles song that popped into my head, and I'm not going to sing it because I'm not going to embarrass myself, is Here Comes the Sun, because it is my husband's favourite. I think it's actually one of my mother-in-law's favourite as well, but I don't know if I've just offended her by saying that. Hopefully not. I'm sure you know the song, but if you haven't, definitely Google it, it's lovely. And finally, the last question is Marmite, and I only need to give a one-word answer to that: yes.